Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Dungeon Boss Respawned. This time we're gonna take a look at the new hero, RATH. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I don't have any videos or anything to show you. It's kinda hard to send videos over Discord, so we're just gonna opt out to looking at all of his abilities and passives. So as you can see here, he is a beast tank. He is normal speed, so yeah, not fast, not slow. To be fair, there aren't that many normal speed tanks that are useful. At least not in the original dungeon boss. Let's see how this one goes. So the ascension cost, probably pretty normal. I guess he's a legendary. Yeah, he is a legendary hero. So let's just look at his first ability. Doomhold Unleashed. There is a cleanses. No, it just cleanses all debuffs on self. That makes a ranged magical attack that deals damage divided amongst all living enemies. Deals bonus damage for each debuff cleansed. So this seems like a very good first ability. Cleansing debuffs is always pretty decent. I guess cleansing will be the strongest form of removal, since we all know by now debuffs can be stacked, so I guess cleansing removes all the stacks of the debuffs, which is pretty nice. Cooldown of 5 turns, that's decent. Yeah. Ranged magical attack, okay. I don't really like that deals damage divided amongst all living enemies. Because that's just gonna split his damage. He's not gonna do a lot of damage. I guess this would be counted as an AoE ability. So even less damage than single target. So yeah, so far he is definitely no damage dealer. He is pure tank so far. Let's look at his next one. Fortress Formation. Another ranged physical attack on all enemies, then applies taunting to self and 2 stacks of defended to all allies. Allies at 50% or below their max health gain an additional stack. So, does this only work from between 50 to 99% HP? Or is that just a wording error and it should be working below 50%? At 50 or below 50%. I don't know, it definitely seems kind of weird, the phrasing on it. But okay, taunting, yeah, we all know taunting. Defended is probably just a defense buff percentage that it increases. Okay, decent, yeah. Juggernaut Assault. Melee physical attack, first melee one, that applies stun to initial target for 2 turns, deals splash damage, and applies 1 stack of prone for 3 turns to all other enemies. Okay, I guess prone is kind of off balance, as we know it from Arya, because she also has the wheel dodge enemy attacks when they're prone, or I forgot what the other debuff was. But I guess that is basically off balance. So they do a little less damage and they're more likely to miss attacks if the enemy has a dodge chance. So, I guess seems fine. As I said, he is not gonna do a lot of damage. The splash damage is probably, like, I would say like 20 to 30% probably. so it will just tickle enemies. He has Pit Fighter as his first passive. He gains armor from it, so he receives 25% less damage from physical attacks and gains an energy for each enemy this character defeats. Plus, he regenerates a portion of health at the end of a round, which is good, depending on how much health he regenerates. Like if it's just 10% or something, it's kind of whatever. But if it's like 20 to 25%, this could actually be really strong, especially since there are no runes and you can't really get like a healing per turn without actually having a healer on your team. So seems decent. I guess the 1 energy for each enemy this character defeats is just a bonus. He's probably not gonna kill too many enemies, especially not on PvP. But let's see more. RATH. Raging Revenge. This character deals more damage the lower their health is and will make a revenge attack against any enemy who crits them. Okay, so he has the who was it? Tsume, I think, was the first character to have this kind of mechanic that the lower their health, the more damage they do. I think for Tsume it was like it started at 50% and it went up to like times 4 damage. Not too sure on that. So if you had him at like 10% health, he did like 4 times the amount of damage that he would usually do. With this passive, he could actually be able to kill something. At least for revenge attacks against enemies who crit them. But yeah, you would like, I don't think you want him as a brawler. I think you should be using him as a tank if you're even gonna use him. So I don't know. I mean, the Beast family has a lot of counters and not counters, revenge attacks and follow-ups and stuff like that, but I still don't see him as a brawler. I still just think he would be better off just defense and let him soak up damage, let him heal, let him cleanse all his debuffs and stuff like that. But okay. Wielder of Doomhold increases defense by 10% and takes 50% reduced damage from crits. Enemies who purge buffs from this hero take 5% magical damage for each stack of buff purged. Okay, so he's a tank, defense by 10%, okay. Takes 50% reduced damage from crits. Is this minus 50% of the crit damage, or is this actually divided by half? Because if it's just minus 50%, then it's kind of meh. Because like crit damage is, I think, normally at 200%. So this would just reduce it to 150. So you take only 50% more damage. But if it's actually half, then a crit is basically like a normal attack against him. And the next one is also kind of worded weirdly, because enemies who purge buffs from this hero take 5% magical damage for each stack of buff purged. 5% of what? Of their max health? Of his attack value? Of his health? It's not really stated how it works. I guess we'll have to see. I don't think that too many people have him actually ascended that far that they can use him in PvP like that. It just kind of seems a little weird that they don't really state 5% of what. But okay, he has some form of retaliation damage, reflection damage, whatever. Elite Defender. Huh. Reminds me of balloons. Okay, starts with 1 stack of Defender for 3 turns. If this hero is the only tank on the team, starts taunting, and with an additional stack of Defender for 3 turns. Okay, Defender is a percentage of defense increase. If he's the only tank, I mean, I don't think you're gonna need more than 1 tank in most defenses or offenses. Since Frax is not in the beta right now, you don't really benefit from using more than 1 tank, I guess. So, I mean, yeah, a free taunt, that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really do much. It buffs his defense, and then it gives him taunting, which like just makes him the #1 target, but it also increases his defense if it stays the same way as in normal dungeon boss. So basically 2 different ways of stacking defense, just by having him as the only tank on your team. And the power of Doomhold. While this hero is alive, other allies gain 5% increased defense, okay. Not too much, and 25% reduced damage from crits. So if we take this as an actual 25% reduction, they will take only either 50% less, like from the 200%, or if it's calculated as like plus 100%, it would be only plus 75%. So okay, it's okay. Other allies gain 2 times those amounts if this hero is the only dark hero on the team. Okay, so they gain all of his, like they gain 10% increased defense and 50% reduced damage from crits if he is the only dark hero on the team. Okay. But as we see here, the person that sent the screenshots is also using Ella. So I guess it's probably gonna be hard to use only him as a dark hero on your team. And it's only the last passive that actually benefits him if he is the only dark hero. So, I mean, 25% reduced damage from crits, or 50% and 5% or 10% defense. It kinda, I guess, doesn't really matter too much. I've seen a few things that make me think that crit meta is not gonna be anymore in Dungeon Boss Respawned, especially with the missing of runes. It's probably gonna be hard to get heroes to 50% crit hit chance. So I don't think it's gonna matter too much if he is the only dark hero on your team or not. I mean, the crit damage reduction is gonna be nice against abilities that always crit. Like we can see Black Diamond here, she probably, from what I can see here, her abilities got flipped around, the S2 and S3. And I guess the S2 still gives a crit chance bonus, so there's gonna be a few heroes that still can buff up your crit chance. So I guess he has a reason to exist. But not everyone is gonna run crit chance boost on their team, so I guess it's a nice thing to have, but it's probably not gonna matter too much until like the majority of us are at 5 or 6 stars and until runes come out, because you're not gonna have too many people at like a 2-star or 3-star hero with a 50% crit chance. It's not gonna matter, and it's not gonna happen. Maybe against goblins at the start, but they don't really care about how much crit damage they do. They just care about actually critting. So yeah, I mean, that's the last one. He seems decent. He doesn't really seem overpowered like we were used to from Dungeon Boss releasing heroes back in the days. Yeah, just a overall tank. I mean, kind of sucks that he is a beast as well, because we already have so many beast heroes that are kind of like tanks. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna be using him too much. But give me your thoughts in the comments down below or on Discord. Let me know if I missed something. I know I didn't go into his basic attack, because nobody sent me a screenshot of his basic attack, so I guess it's just the same as we know it from all the other heroes. It's not gonna be any spectacular thing, probably just a melee or a ranged physical attack. As we saw, most of his abilities are just ranged or melee physical. So yeah, let me know what you think about him, if you're gonna use him, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.